e-gaming bets. Online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back to the Starladder iLeague StarSeries Season 3. We are going into our second map of G2 versus EnVy after the decimation of EnVy came in 16-3 on Train. Obviously now we go into the map pick of G2, a map which we haven't seen too much from EnVy on. Well, joining me once again is going to be Hugo. Do you see a comeback happening?
I got to be realistic, right? That was map pick of EnVyUs. Now going into this one, we're going to G2's map pick, their proving grounds. I'm not expecting. You're gonna add? You're gonna say what you think, Tom? Or are you just gonna dodge out? You know, like you always do.
The thing is,
never
like,
give your predictions.
We've seen them play recently versus North in Pro League, and they put up a decent display on the map. The problem is, that's really all we've seen. They played it once previously against Tricked. I think they won, but Tricked are obviously a team that we are expecting EnVy to be able to beat left, right, and center, no matter how well they play. So it really doesn't lead too well at the moment, especially when you compare to how G2 played yesterday. There were a few players who are a little bit quiet, mainly kennyX. Now, he's always someone on this map where you talk about his outside control, looking over towards those rafters. He was incredible in the first map. The whole team were incredible. But with him especially, if he's up and running, he could just isolate this outside position and basically make it so that EnVy never really get into the game. Now, to add to that, I've also got the knife to look at. And G2 have got that CT start. And if they start the way they did on Train, then EnVy may not even get an opportunity to get into the game. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with G2. I think it's going to be that 2-0.
Safest option there for sure. Let's have a look. I mean, EnVy's not really getting lucky on the knife rounds. Both times starting on the T side on very CT heavy maps, right? Both Train and nuke. And now they're again on this T side. So either way, we're going to see a, well, not quite a raid bust, but a P250 armor dropped over towards Scream. Sixer with a Molotov. Be interesting to see how he utilizes that. Could be for post-plant, but not very common here on nuke, at least. As we can see, EnVy is taking some early lobby control. No one really putting any pressure towards outside. Happy will be towards the silo just to eventually split if he needs to be down towards either main or secret, depending. We will see the pressure go towards ramp. It's MBK to try and hold this off. He is playing it with the support of Shocks down towards the lowers, and he's going to be spotted. Tap it away. Gets dinked as well. He's down to 5 HP. Scream doing good damage there with that P250 bit. Let's see if MBK can hold off and do what Shocks couldn't. Shocks dies, and oh, Scream. There's the one taps we know and love him for. He gets the opener onto MBK, and now they have full ramp control.
Yeah, this is also where they can duck back in if necessary and go towards Hell. So they have a lot of control just by being able to take over ramp. Scream already starting strongly, which I think is going to be hugely important considering what happened in the previous map where it took him, what 8 rounds to actually even get a single kill on the board. He's got 2 in the pistol. Trusty P250, which is something normally he picks up, but not with armor, so obviously relying on him quite heavily. There hasn't been too much of a rotation as of yet, although they have actually gone back down towards that B site. Sixer is going to be using the Molotov to try and isolate them, but in the meantime, Kenny, he's going to be able to get 2. Scream looking to do more with that P250, and does actually get another 3 kills for him. The Molotov's burned 1 down, and it's onto body in the clutch.
He's got to do something pretty big. Happy's in the vents as well, so a bit of an unexpected angle, but he spots him. Information given away. Scream does eventually get that plant down, and they don't have a kit within the vicinity for him to pick up. He needs to hurry up and get onto this site ASAP. Spots out Scream. Happy pushes from his left. Bit of damage off, but again, they're really kind of just whittling him down. They don't need to really face him and commit to a battle here as he jumps on in. Tries to take the kill to Happy. Has to get the reload, though, and Happy will drop him. Scream, massive round, though. We talked about him in the previous game. He went 0-9 at the start of the game before he got his first kill, and even then ended the scoreboard at the second from last. And now he's opening up the pistol round with 3 crucial kills. Good start for EnVyUs.
Yeah, more importantly, they've got that T-side pistol, which is always going to be the bolster that is necessary. Don't allow the CT economy to get rocking straight away. Kenny is going to be saving a little bit of money, ready for that AWP, got himself a couple of kills as well, so that will pretty much pay for the dig without actually investing too much. It looking like an aggressive push to come in over towards this A site. They do have quite a lot of SMGs once again. Only Scream with the rifle, obviously getting 3 kills in the previous round, means he can do it and still have a little bit of extra cash for some utility. Happy looking to just Molotov out positions, but actually we have seen a little bit of a rotation already from the CT side. One player is going to be on that B site just in case they do go for the push early on. That's going to be Apex playing right down the bottom of the ramp, and he has actually heard them making their push in that direction.
He will come into contact with them in just a second. Six is going to run on through. Nice shot from Apex, only using 2 bullets as well, so conserving his ammo, which is very important with that CZ. And there, EnVyUs still have a bit of control. They can pick this up fairly easily, but Shock's actually denying the player to come in through Ventus. Happy on the lurk, and Kenny S from the back of the site does damage too. What is happening, Kenny? There's another dig, and now XMS, he's just cornered alone, and Apex will try and hunt him down. He does fail, yes, and an AK will be retrieved on the hands of XMS, but he's still got 3 more to find, and with the bomb on the other side of the wall, full control here from the CT side. Body's playing close. He needs to check. He will, but Body going to get the drop. Headshot comes in, and G2, another force buy win, Tom. We saw this on Train when EnVyUs switched over to the CT side. They picked up the pistol, and then they got eco'd. All the time, this team get eco'd. EnVyUs, what is happening?
Yeah, they seem to be so, well, set on just investing into one rifle. And I think the big problem there was actually just the bomb. The first player drops the bomb into the open on the B side. Every player from G2 then rotates in, and we just see some wonderful dig shots coming out from Kenny and Shocks. But they would never have been able to do that if the bomb was just sat there. We could have seen it rotate away. They had the control of ramp. They could have even gone back up through hell and gone to A side without any trouble at all. But the second that bomb goes down, that's it. We know that they're going to have to challenge, and that's where everything goes wrong. As those SMGs, long-range battles, well, you're going to bet on the digs every time. And, well, say the word dig, Scream. He hears it, takes off Shock's head. Happy actually going to do some damage through the smoke as well. Apex having to be a little bit careful. Well, we know from the investment, fully invested into this, although we do actually have Sixer and Scream saving a little bit of extra cash. But they're trying to break this one back.
Yeah, there's potential with these Deagles. They are lethal. And apparently so are the P250s. RBK playing close. Body rushes in towards the lobby, gets caught out. And EnVyUs actually sitting quite good in this one. They've got a okay 5-on-2 now, not a 5-on-3. As Apex, again, relentless aggression from G2. I feel like a bit too overconfident here. They aren't playing this trade game. They aren't playing the double pushes. And one by one, they will be eliminated. It's all onto Kenny. And this is just the most solo round I've ever seen in CS. Not a single member of G2 pushed for the teammate to allow them to trade. Every single one got taken down in just one-on-one battles. And EnVyUs, they are going to win themselves a second round. Actually, I guess, resetting G2. Not that they exactly built up any money, but they are going to be forcing up here on the CT side as EnVyUs now had the better buy. And I don't think we're going to see the eco coming in, or the eco coming in twice, as EnVyUs definitely have a good weaponry.
Yeah, not only picking up the weapons that they gave over in the previous round, but getting some of the rifles that were bought by G2 as well. So yeah, much better buy. Apex already going to be dinked through the door. And yeah, as you said, just a little bit too much aggression coming out. This time, they're actually playing it as a team, looking to try and challenge into outside. XMS has already gone all the way down secret, taking a hell of a lot of map control. Happy looks to do the same, but he has to be very careful because there are a lot of players near him at the moment. He will be able to get one, but there's 3 players about to come rushing into his position. He's just like, nope. Fades away, gonna throw the Molotov down. And in the meantime, the rest of his team are just rotating back towards their B site. Nice shot from Kenny, will get one, but they're already at a disadvantage. Well, they should just be picked apart from here on out. But I say should. Shocks is going to get another one. They are starting to get surrounded here. The bomb yet to go down. 50 seconds left, so they do have the time. Just trying to wait for mistakes to be made by the remaining players. Sixer tapping bullets away eventually will find one. And now Shocks, 1 versus 3. Does have a rifle at least.
Yeah, difficult one though, even with the rifle. And Scream's going to run up close and personal. No head armor and Shocks. It will be an insta-kill. And EnVyUs, they are going to win themselves a 3rd round here. Clean and Tico, only losing 2 players there. The force by not working out at all from G2. And now we have a full eco. This is going to be very light investment, if anything, here from the G2 side. EnVyUs not going to be playing still with a Mac 10, which is quite a surprise considering they didn't have it from Scream in the previous round. But obviously, he did save that rifle at the end of the day, so not dropping over a Mac 10. Just trying to keep every player alive. That is the intention this round. They don't want to lose anyone, as G2 only have a P250 to their name. But EnVyUs, a really fast play. This is not typically how you see anti-ecos, but they're trying to catch them off guard as they storm on into the A site. Good stuff so far. 2 kills, bit of team damage, but they make it 3. G2 finding nothing.
Yeah, and this, well, although not the best way to start off a game with the sort of trade back, it can actually work quite nicely in their favor. They've got 4 rounds already on the T side. Finally, we'll see a full buy-in for G2 as they do get the AWP in. They could even go for a second one if they wanted it, but I'd quite like to see them just get some utility onto Body. He was saving for that very reason. Flat rifles over on the T side, but they have built up an awful lot of economy because of the way things have gone so far. And well, after the performance we saw from Scream previously, he's currently 10-1.
He's flipped the scoreboard on its head, apparently, to the previous map. And he's going to be looking to do some damage. Happy as well. He actually takes down shots outside. That wasn't the player in main. That was a spray control on the player outside of main. So good kill there to open things up. And EnVyUs actually sitting pretty on the man advantage early on. No kit on the side of G2. Utility is fairly limited. Only 3 smokes between the remaining players, and EnVyUs. No warp in play, but they don't seem to need it as they've already found this opener. Just holding off on towards a silo, bit of inside lobby control, and waiting to see if G2 will start to push in again. We've seen a lot of aggression from the CT side. They may start to crack down on it and play a little more passive, as that hasn't really been working in their favor, to be honest. And EnVyUs have realized this.
55 seconds left on the clock. One of the ways they did very well on the previous map was actually not going for a lot of aggression, just waiting for the Ts to push into their clutches. Now, Scream is going to be able to take quite a bit of control outside. The rest are just sat waiting to push towards this A site, but actually they're going to switch things up, go over towards ramp. MBK is already looking to push back as they come towards his very position. There's already a second player here. They may not expect it. MBK gets 2. And again, the bomb is going to be dropped over towards ramp. This has been so problematic for them previously. RPK now having to try and speed up the process. They've only got 20 seconds left on the clock. Scream doesn't even look like he's attempting to move. Although Body may just push into his crosshair, but he pulls out the knife. Absolutely no idea why. And well, that will allow Body to pass. And the round is done.
That's so unfortunate as well. Another free kill could have gone his way, but just going to slip from his clutches. G2, they come back in on fire this round, apparently, and take themselves a second. We're yet to kind of see these rounds stable out, so we're yet to see who's going to start to build up the economy, force the opposing team into eco, because right now both teams have a little bit of cash in the reserves, majoritarily so in the favor of EnVyUs, but G2 definitely not done. If they lose a round, they can still invest a little bit. And with the way that these guys have been force buying over on the CT side, I wouldn't really be surprised if they did, if in case they do lose this round. But obviously that would be a plain reset. So EnVyUs have picked up the previous 3 prior to this one round from G2. But let's see, Kenny's with the AWP outside. We see the boost coming up from the other AWP on the 6er side, and he is going to be able to open things up. We know which AWP is better now, apparently, as he takes down Kenny. Massive kill to open things up, and EnVyUs starting things off in a 5-on-4.
Yeah, and more importantly, they pounced on this aggression. They take him down, and instantly we see them push into Secret. 6er making his move as well. RPK attempting to take over Rafters. Apex is going to be outside, still attempting to challenge. You have to remember, G2 haven't really built up a lot of money as of yet, so they really do need to keep this one going. Apex will be able to trade things back, at least evening up the men on each side. Still going to see further aggression from Scream. He's pushing all the way towards this B site. Now, there is currently 1 player down there. It's going to be MBK. He's currently just sat in Toxic. So if they do go pushing, the likelihood is they're not going to know that he's here. Scream, however, is going to be able to push all the way back towards ramp, walking the whole way. This position could be so valuable for his team because they're not going to be expecting someone being able to come in from behind. Obviously, MBK just sat on the site itself, and well, he may even be able to catch out Apex if he's still just outside, or if he pushes back in through heaven. The likelihood is they will not expect it, although Body is homed in on that very position.
This is so great from MBK. They have no idea. Scream is going to have a 0% chance of checking this angle, and MBK opening up the door, spraying away. He's not going to hit the shot. XMS gets the bomb plant, and that not only allows EnVyUs to get the time in their favor, but also denies a free kill from the MBK side. He'll eventually pick it up, but it's a 3-on-3. EnVyUs have control of the bomb site, but not for long. Apex comes back in through the rotation, and Sixer does drop body, so it's a 2-on-2, but a crucial shot gets missed. He re-peeks in for more. The nade's going to dunk, but he gets the kill, looking for a final one, but Apex shuts him down, and Happy, he has a molly for the bomb. Apex has no smoke for that as well. He's going to tap it. Doesn't commit to the defuse, so molly goes out. That should land perfectly. No need for Happy to peek. Apex, though, he can just go around the edge of it. Happy doesn't realise he needs to hurry up. The diffuser's coming in. 1 second, but Happy just gets him as the Molotov spreads. And EnVyUs are going to pick up a 5th round there, just leaving it down to the wire. That is the reset. We said there's a good chance for a force here on G2, but to be honest, actually, now that I look at the money, I think it's less and less likely. They've not got as much as I expected. So probably only a couple of PT50s and a bit of body armor, maybe on Apex at the most. Considering the loss bonus hasn't built up, I wouldn't expect too much.
Yeah, this is sort of the position where you ask, can $1,900 make a difference? And the answer in this scenario is actually yes. They can get a better buy if they wait. They're going to try and do a little bit of extra damage in this round. Apex actually going to get Kevlar on the board. It does mean the likelihood for an AWP, well, it seems slim, but actually I think Kenny will just have enough to be able to get it in play. So they should have that as well. May need to get himself a kill if he wants to have full armor. But other than that, he should be able to get it with Kevlar. Apex will start things off. Actually gets a rifle as well onto XMS. Now, he's been able to take control over Secret so easily throughout this map so far. So, Apex challenging him could actually be a decent start. But they're going to go pushing straight in onto this A site. MBK will actually be able to get one, but the trades are in. And that will leave it just on to Apex. He's brought it back to a 1 versus 1. 3 kills for him in the round so far. Only on to Happy from above. He's got plenty of time to play with. Gonna go peeking in. Spots out Apex. Does some damage, but can't quite connect all the shots. It's down to 19 and 6 HP. But that Molotov may just be enough, although Apex has actually pushed back through. Happy may know his position, but here comes the peek, and Apex is gonna win the round. 4 kills for him, based off 1 AK found on XMS. And well, we spoke about their economy, how it would be going into the next round. They're going to be able to afford a double AWP setup.
That could be used on an advert for people playing matchmaking, wondering when to pull out nades. Never pull out nades in a 1v1 like that. You don't know the position of the enemy. Even if Apex hadn't flanked round there towards the site, even if he peeked straight on from when the Molotov land, that would have still been his kill. Happy pulls out the nade, I'm not too sure why, and he gets taken down. That could have been his round, but nope, it's going to fall away. Shox opens this one up, though. Kenny as well on the secondary AWP, or at least the primary AWP. Shox. As you can see, the outside control going to be taken advantage of by G2. They are not losing a single man so far, and Sixer being the last one surviving as of yet. Seems like it's going to be a clean one for G2, but obviously great stuff on Apex to pick up that previous round. I mean, very, very impressive with the 3K or 4K in the end of the day. And Sixer, he retrieves the Deagle to play with. There's no need for G2 to expose himself too much into this one. That being said, who doesn't love a bit of ADR? Apex goes down. Sixer, it's just a time game. When's he going to peak? And there we go. Kenny takes him down. G2, 4 rounds on the board. That will be the almost equalizing round.
Yeah, of course, that one was just an eco for EnVy. Just looking to make sure they can get the rifles back into the next round. And, well, I think the big thing about that round especially is that it did wonders for the economy of the CT side. They would have only been able to get 1,900 loss bonus if they'd lost that round. Instead, they get the extra money from the win and can get these double AWPs in play, which isn't something we've been able to see otherwise. Now, this time Kenny has switched up his position. Shox is going to take up the role of outside. Kenny just hoping that somebody will come pushing over towards Ram. Windows are going to be broken, ready for a setup if necessary, but it looks like the majority of players are actually looking to head outside, and, well, Shox is actually only holding the rafters at the moment, so they could just squeeze past him.
Very, very quick. EnVyUs checking every single angle, though. They will be making their way down towards the secret. Shox unable to get himself an opener here towards the garage. He just plays passive, expecting a potential rafters push from one of these players, potentially Happy, who's still up on the silo. And he may be fed that as well, as Happy is just holding for the push. EnVyUs, they have got this lower control. Only Apex in defense mode here, as he is throwing down that smoke, just waiting towards the stairs. He has a nade to follow. That could do good damage, but I'm sure they'll hear the pin being pulled, and they will. I'm not going to back off there. Instead, going to push with it. And Happy, he will get that kill outside. Shock's getting caught with the AWP, but RPK drops Apex just after they chase down the nading player. MBK repositions back into lobby, trying to get aggressive to catch himself out of rotation kill. But Happy, he's going to be coming in. Doesn't check the corner, but actually flicks back around. MBK goes down, and that's huge. That was MBK's chance back into the round, but at least Body will retrieve something. One quick kill to XMS, and Kenny S missing that up shot. Crucial. Gonna stop, not stop the bomb as well as RPK commits to the bomb part. Kenny not hitting the shots he should right now. And it is a 2-1 versus 3. As EnVyUs, they've got 4%.
Kenny manages to get the first. Couple of low players on the other side. He does have a kit as well. There's a rifle on the floor that he could look to pick up, but at the moment, just going to be trying to bait it out. Throws the nade onto Happy. It doesn't quite reach, meaning Happy will just about survive. Still on 6 HP. Going to go for the push. Gets the no-scope onto Scream. That's ridiculous. Leaving Happy. He's just going to go straight for the defuse. Kenny getting the timing, and he will even get the kill in the end. Wonderful stuff from Kenny. Should just about have enough time to defuse the bomb as well. 1v3 clutch. And this is why this man has such a name.
That is just a phenomenal play from Kenny. 5-5 for G2 now. It was looking dire, but Kenny pulls it out the hat. It's a dream alive here for the CT side. This is weird, though. EnVyUs actually do have 5 rounds on the T side. You've got to take that into account. They had a very sloppy performance on Train T side, their own map pick. But now moving to this, they're actually having a really effective half so far. Obviously, it's yet to stable out. Neither team's going to be taking a huge amount of rounds ahead for the time being. But still really good stuff to see EnVyUs are actually proficient on this map. We were hoping so. We all want this to go to 3 maps. I think we can agree. Even those favouring G2 want this to go to 3 maps. It's going to make for more of a show. But EnVyUs, they've still got a long road ahead if they want to be able to close this one out. G2 are still on fire, especially Kenny here. And EnVyUs setting up towards ramp, looking like a fast burst play. We only have MBK. He just has to straight off back off. Drops a Molotov as well in place. And Kenny S rotating back in to try and repeat his success on the previous one. Nice shot. Just peeking as the Molotov goes down. Takes down RPK. Backs off safely. Leaves the pressure on the shoulders of MBK down towards Starladder. He will be faced. XMS takes the kill though.
And that's quite an aggressive peak to take. Not something we've seen so far. It will be Apex again though. Picking up a couple of kills. Leaving it all onto Scream. 1 versus 3. Now, we've seen the clutches come out from G2 so far. They haven't really been in an advantageous situation in the last few rounds. They've actually managed to win. It was Apex the first time, and 1v3 for Kenny in the last. Now we'll see if Scream can replicate some of that wonder, some of that magic. 35 seconds left on the clock. Kenny just going to be holding the angle, trying to bait out some pushes to come in, but Kenny, well, not quite going to be handed the kill. Is going to be pushing back in, but they will push together. Double peak, 6-5. Envy, well, probably just going to invest into a few pistols in this round and wait for the next to come back with a big buy.
As you would expect. But Envy really aren't having a lot of success on these pistol rounds, right? They're not really getting anything done, let alone a bomb plant. So, you know, we're not hoping for too much here from EnVyUs, or maybe we're hoping, but we're not expecting. There's only a couple of PT50s, a Deagle, and a Tech 9 is going to be their roster. 6er again, saving for that AWP. And G2 have been fairly proficient at shutting down these anti-ecos. Apex opening it up again. We're going to see XMS dropping, and EnVyUs just unable to trade. 1 by 1, they will fall. And Shocks, he's going to be able to close it. Happy getting dropped eventually by Body, dropping in from the rafters. And it will be 7-5 here from the CT side. EnVyUs now going back on their buy. Not too much of an issue. We're not really expecting it from them in those kind of rounds. 6er has enough for the AWP, though. And he has been at the top of the scoreboard for a lot of the time, just fighting alongside Scream for the EnVyUs side. But he's actually not going to go for it, sticking with the AK. Interesting decision, considering he had plenty of cash to go for full nades, even alongside that AWP. G2 still only a single AWP in play for the time being.
I imagine that must be down to what they actually plan to do in this round, because challenging outside, he was actually winning the duel versus Kenny, finding the picks, and, well, that's someone you want to be taking down at the moment. He is looking very, very strong in this AWP, so I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't have him pick up the AWP, and we've already lost XMS in the meantime, who is actually going to be dropped outside, and the bomb is currently on the floor. It is behind, so it's absolutely fine. They can get it back relatively easily. But man disadvantage, well, that might be a little bit more tricky to get back. They are just going to throw down the wall of smokes, isolating Kenny from being able to see anything for now. He's actually going to fall back to the forklift in spawn. Now, this is quite an interesting spot. It's been utilized quite a few times, just in case they attempt to wrap round into heaven. But at the meantime, they are actually looking to just go straight into this A site. Apex in the corner, Body on the side. Apex lines them up, but can't quite finish them off. Shocks will be able to get another one. Happy with a kill. RPK looking, or MBK trying to come in from behind, and he's not going to win the duel either. Once again, it's going to be on to Kenny. 1 versus 2. And, well, not a reset potential for the CT side, but still a 6th round potential coming in for Envy.
And there's no need for Envy to peek here. They can just hold on. Happy's got that bomb down. RPK might walk into this crack, but he's actually just going to hold on for the time being. The nade will give away the position of Kenny. Good damage, though. They're both on the site. It's going to be a dangerous one. RPK peeks. Bit of damage. Not the kill. Kenny still pulls out the pistol. He has time to play with. He has that kit. But he needs to still hurry up as there are 2 players to eliminate. Rushes in, but no. Happy takes him down. It's going to be the round going to EnVyUs. 6-7. I was hoping for the clutch, Tom. It looked possible, but the double sight play is too good, right? Because even if he does get close, if he takes down one, chances are he's going to take down both. It's very unlikely. So EnVyUs looking ready for that one. They still kind of invest in their buy after saving 2 players. And G2, double open play, trying to switch things up once again.
Yeah, Sixer going to have his AWP in hand once again, looking to try and challenge over towards outside. He has support from RPK. Actually going to go for a little bit of a boost, but this time there is nobody there. Kenny's gone all the way back over towards ramp, and Shox is actually going to be outside, but ducking back in towards this A site. Interested to see where he's actually going to go. Back up towards the rafters. May just rush around to try and take some control outside. In the meantime, we are actually seeing the wrap from Scream. He's got all the way up into the rafters. This is the problem of having absolutely no one outside. He's been able to gauge so much map control. Quite a lot of information as well. He knows there's somebody up in heaven. He's going to peek around. Double spray down. Kenny has got one in the meantime. The Scream's just taken this round by storm. 3 kills for him onto the A site. The one time there's nobody outside, and he's able to capitalize. But Kenny pushing back in. Only going to be able to get 1. And now it's a 1v2 for MBK.
Yeah, he gets a kill onto Scream just through the edge. He's not going to be able to do anything more as a Molotov comes down, sealing his fate, holding him back in from the heaven position. If he wants to wrap and try and do this, he has to come in through main. But still, time is against him. No kit in play. It's almost like Kenny S once again. An XMS. He's going to be able to take him down. EnVyUs, a lot of dominance here on this T side. 7-7. And take into account, this map is still fairly CT-sided. Not massively. Not like Train, for example, but still. I'd say it's a good half so far from EnVyUs. And if they can pick up an 8, which is looking more and more likely, considering G2's buy, we could be seeing a really, really good matchup ahead of us. 4 buy coming up from the T's. G2 left on a FAMAS, a couple of M4s, and a UMP and a pistol.
I'd just like to officially say welcome back to Scream. Sixer. With that AWP again, starting things off. Kenny doesn't have his AWP this time, but the FAMAS will be enough to take down Happy, who is sitting outside. Sixer trying to find a pick over towards this A site. There are quite a few players in this position. Shock's actually going to go very aggressive outside. He does drop down. I wonder if that will have given his position away a little bit. MBK with more aggression out of vents will catch one as they try and return. He's actually going to be able to survive. And this does leave the A site relatively weak at the moment. It's going to be Kenny low on HP. Body does manage to find one. Sixer looking to push back through, and well, Body up above. He's going to be able to do enough. Now it's Sixer in a 1v2. I feel like 1v2s are just coming all over the shop at the moment. And Shox is looking to push in from behind. But Sixer, he's actually going to take the bomb outside.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is good, though. He can at least isolate these 2 players into singular one-on-ones, and that would favor him a lot. The thing is, G2 are playing this on separate sites, which gives an innate advantage to Sixer. While MBK has a fast rotation towards A, if he gets taken down towards B, it could be very, very dangerous. And I like the fact that G2 are at least playing this together to some extent, because if they completely separate, Sixer has really good chances. And look at this. He hears it. He hears MBK on that ladder there. He's going to spot him. Goes to the shot, and he gets a kill. Now he makes his way down onto the B side. Doesn't exactly know where Shox is going to be rotating from. Back in the vents. No sound cues have been made, and Bompard will actually successfully go down there for Sixer. Spots him, peeks out with a Tech 9, jumps, but Shox is going to catch his legs, shoots him through the side, gets himself a defuse to secure G2 that 8th round as well. Considering they didn't have a lot into that round, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, they managed to win it. A lot of aggression coming out from their team. MBK as well. Kenny going for an aggressive peek over towards outside. But either way, that's still a very, very good half for Envy. They've got themselves 7 rounds on the board. They're going to go on to the CT side, where if they can get that money rolling, get the economy going, something which the CTs did struggle with for a little bit. Like the early portions of this game were very backwards and forwards, which in most cases will always benefit the T side, just based on the fact that their buys are cheaper. They can get away with a little bit more in terms of just aggressive pushes or fast pushes. So yeah, and you have to remember, one of the rounds they actually managed to win was based off Apex winning it versus Pistols. So it's been a very good half, and even like later on in the match, there were some 1v1s or 1v3s even for Kenny, so this could have been a hell of a lot worse. So yeah, Envy looking very, very strong at the moment. Everybody's starting to wake up on their side of things as well, which is important. XMS still a bit quiet. If he comes alive, well, I definitely believe that they could bring this one home.
Yeah, it's always possible. Full armor for the EnVyUs side, no kits here, which is dangerous in a post plant, but G2 only going to have one nade fire. It's going to be shocks here. HE and smoke, so I'm expecting maybe the squeaky door to be naded and then smoked out towards main so they can go for this fast A push. That's very common, and he will do something of the sort. Throws the smoke out. That's more for the vent dive than anything, but they're not pushing with it just yet, waiting for this peek and scream. And oh no, he taps away, gets himself one, but they still make their way successfully down in towards B. XMS rotating off of ramp, does find Kenny, but not going to be able to connect enough bullets for the headshot. As you can see, the players from G2 just filing out. Need to get this bomb down, but Body's still taking the engagement. Plant will eventually be found. And MBK pushing up aggressively into the face of XMS, takes the head off, and leaving Envy in a 4-on-4 post plant.
Yeah, they don't currently have a kit either. Nice shot from Sixer pushing back into the site. Only really Scream on the other side, and he's going to turn around and catch shocks as well, leaving only a couple of players left at the moment. It will be Body to peek back in, trying to find something. He's managed to get a dink, but RPK getting him very, very low, and now it's all on to Kenny. He's been baited out by the bomb, but he tries to deny the defuse, and instead, well, he gets shot in the face by Scream. It's going to be 3 kills for him once again. Doing very well in this series so far, and he will actually join Kenny as the top fragger in the server. 8-8, Envy with the start.
Back into this game, they are going to do is G2 invest into this. So usually I'd criticize it, right? But the fact of the matter is G2 have been so good at upsetting these second rounds. EnVyUs have now won 3 pistols in this series, and they have, well, at least in 2 of them, out of 2, been ecoed the second round. So G2 actually having a good investment. 1 UMP, 4 Tech 9s, armor and utility. There's definitely a chance they can take out these EnVyUs players, especially considering the buy on the CT side. It's very, very SMG based. No rifles at all. Apex going to be running right in. Scream inside of the vents, gets caught out. There's only 1 more player on the site, and while Sixer will rotate into support from the heavens, he's going to be so exposed in this position. Doesn't matter. 2 kills. Happy supports, and while he will get taken down, the bomb gets dropped in the open and leaves shocks in a 1-on-2. XMS is dropped, but Happy's in towards main. He knows exactly where he is. He can grab that bomb for the plant, giving a little bit more money for G2 in the case that they do lose this round. Happy, he's still over in main. Shock in the meantime grabs himself a UMP, and he's forced into a 1-on-1.
Trying to get a little bit closer where this Tech 9 will be more deadly. Even manages to retrieve a UMP, and he's actually going to go fading back away, just trying to play with Happy. And, well, Happy is going to push in the right direction. Finds the kill as well. This time they will just about convert. It's not to be for shocks. And Happy will win.
Yeah, as well. You know, weird considering G2 seemed like they had everything in for that round, but Sixer with a rotation coming in through heaven. Phenomenal play from him. 2 kills. Lots of money as well gained from that UMP, and he can even go for the AWP. I mean, right now, it'd be a bit preemptive, I feel. Should probably just stick with a pistol or an SMG of the sort, because you know G2 are very unlikely to buy up. But that being said, while they're unlikely, it's still a possibility, right? G2 could still force up. And while they've gone for a bit of a quasi, yeah, they've gone for a bit of a quasi because they have, you know, some loss bonus, 2,400, but still. Oh, again, risky.
This is actually very much doable for the T side. They're going to go very aggressively down. Shock spamming away. We'll get the first this time. He does win the duel versus Happy. And, well, this is scary stuff because they have only invested in SMGs. There's no rifles to play with. They are going to be able to go all the way down towards this B site. By the looks of it, there's not really anybody there. They have a presence from Sixer over towards ramp. Support as well from XMS is going to be tapping through, looking to try and find the bomb. Can't quite catch out Body. So it will be planted once again, meaning that in the next round there is going to be a buy for the T side no matter what. Now we get to see if they can actually convert this round as well.
Very possible here, but the SMG is going to be great for retaking in close range positions. And there we go. There's a textbook example. Scream drops in from the vent. They have enough players and stick the defuse. The smoke will go down to the bomb. Body going to spray away, but he gets dropped there, baited out by the defuse fate. And Shox is the last man standing, but RPK's already found an EnVyUs. 10 rounds. They make it work far better here, keeping 4 players alive. They can now go for that bonus round, right? They can stick with these SMGs for a proper buy and allow them to at least, reset with the proper rifles if they do lose it, or they can invest. Now, while I do understand them sticking with the SMGs because they have so many of them, it's very risky, right? Because this scoreline is still so close, and they're actually going to invest in one more rifle, dropping another UMP, and that's, I think, a bit safer. A good decision, though. You don't want to stick with full UMPs and MP9s, or it's just going to go dangerous, and you're probably going to lose a round, right? And give more away to G2 to start get the ball rolling. But look at the aggression outside from the CTs, pushing all the way. Kenny does open things up, and there's plenty of SMGs to get the job done. And BK trades. Still, RPK gets away with the dink as well. Don't know how he hits that, but it's a 3-on-3. And this is actually quite good for EnVyUs as well. Look at the position. There we go, from Happy.
He gets past Body by a millisecond, and that's actually going to be able to give him the advantage for a second until Shox is able to trade. He does currently have the bomb. Body is looking to actually go through that smoke and try and find Happy, who's gone back above him once again. A game of cat and mouse. I don't think he's going to know that somebody's pushed through. Shox is actually finishing off one more on the other side of the map, so RPK is going to be down. Now, can Happy actually win this for his team? He won the 1v1 versus Shox. The bomb has actually been retrieved by Body, and, well, he's got past. Flashbang would enable him to just run towards the site, and by the looks of it, Happy may not even be aware that he no longer has control of the bomb.
You should work it out in just a quick second, though. He's got a bit of an inkling as he repositions back towards the ladder, looking like he wants to drop back down into the A site, but obviously the bomb's safely going to be making its way down and towards B. Far better position here as Shox joins him over towards the ramp. They're pretty much clearing out the whole of the map, though, here, so they are going to be very confused as to where Happy is. They won't have a clue, because as far as they're aware, everything's clear, apart from the A site. But Happy, still late on the rotation. Here's the smoke, going to start to drop down this ladder, looking for the kill. Body successfully does get that plant. And the thing is, Happy's got to make that sound cue by breaking open one of these doors if he wants to go for the peak here, which is going to give all the information away to G2. No element of surprise for him. But the smoke is down. And while the doors are open, still, time is against him.
Yeah, the big problem for Happy is he doesn't currently have a kit. Going to be making a hole in the door. That will give an advantage, but Body's still going to win the duel. Takes his head clean off. Now, obviously, this was a bonus round for Envy, so that has to be taken into consideration. They did a lot of damage, dropped it down to only a couple of players, made some more money, and will still be able to buy into this round. So they have the perfect opportunity to reset G2 and get that run of rounds continued over on their CT side. Of course, the same can be said for G2. They win this round, they're almost guaranteed to take the lead, as there'll be nothing but pistols invested into the next round, as only 1900 will go into the accounts of this CT side.
G2, very fast outside control. You can see Apex is pushed all the way up, looking for the opener on Sixer. He does spot him, not going to be able to connect, sprays away, and he's just going to be unsuccessful. Sixer gets away with his life, 70 HP as well, and Apex have flashed out, so he actually turns away right as Sixer goes to the repeat. Unfortunate timing, but Scream will drop down into B, expecting a potential push as Sixer has given up that outside control. Now G2 are liable to push down in towards the secret. So Scream is repositioned. He's going to be in a perfect angle for this one. And as you can see, he's ready to peek. Issue is, no one's going to be taking the fight from Silo. Kenny's holding the angle there with the AK as well. So Scream doesn't want to take too many risks here, because if he goes down, that's going to give such a huge opener to G2.
In the meantime, the rest of the team looking to make their way onto the site, but it's going to be Sixer to start. RPK looking to try and survive, and he will be doing just that. A lot of damage done. In the meantime, Happy just sat waiting for Apex, and now it's all on to MBK. At least has the bomb, can go over towards this B site, get the bomb down, earn a little bit of extra cash for his team, which there isn't much of at the moment. They've only managed to win one round, and he's going to have to try his best to clutch this one out versus 3.
Yep, time is ticking away from EnVyUs, but they still have a kit on XMS to play with. And MBK, he's going to be met with a full force as they start to push in towards Secret. Happy coming in from behind, as he always does. And MBK just going to turn the worst timing possible. He still gets a headshot, but again, not expecting 2 players. Good play from EnVyUs, at least playing that buddy system so they can get the trade. And RPK does it. As XMS, oh, baity little defuse there. Just to get in the minds of G2. Oh, okay. No, no, I'm looking at my games. I'm not looking at that. RPK doesn't find the AWP though.
Yeah, which is going to limit them a little bit in terms of range on outside, although Sixer wasn't actually able to do too much in the previous round. He does get the opening kill in the end. Now only going to be what looks like, well, it was sort of a semi-buy, but now we see a lot more of an investment. Apex actually going to pick up an AK, obviously the entry fragger for the team. So he's going to be attempting to find those initial kills. Molotov's thrown out early to try and deny any aggression, but the smoke will deny, and Shox again is going to go straight down into the vents. And even if he gets damaged, even if he doesn't get much done, it's just the knowledge that he is now down here that's going to make things so much more difficult for this CT side. XMS with the boost. 2, can't quite get the 3rd. He's got support from Sixer, who is going to be able to get another one. They're using these SMGs very, very well. Kenny looking to at least finish him off and will do just that. But it's still going to be the advantage and weaponry heavily in the favor of Envy.
Pretty much everything here, right? Bomb is down for the CT side, but RPK looking to kind of push back in and try and take control of it. He will get naded out, forced to fall back. And Shox coming in from low to try and support his teammates. Not going to be good at all because Happy's already holding the angle down towards B. Happy's always in that position you don't expect. And Kenny is now alone. Tries to push himself back inside of the lobby here. Might get the drop into RPK, and I like what he's trying to do there. So if he can find himself one kill, the pressure is slightly alleviated, but RPK is going to walk back in. Doesn't matter. Kenny finds a headshot. Now he doubles back in towards ramp once again. It's all a fake. Goes out. Scream is just above him, and Scream, to be honest, his position is perfect for this. Kenny continues to walk into the A site. There's a very unlikely chance he'll be aware of Scream's position right above him. And he won't. Scream takes him down. EnVyUs 12 rounds to 9. And they're starting to bring this one back, Tom. On the opposing team's map pick, they're doing very, very well. And a pause will actually be called out from G2.
Yeah, and the problem in this round at least is that there isn't the money for G2 to really go for anything in this round. They could get a couple of rifles and then have some SMGs once again, but these are the sort of quasi-buys that have been leaving them in quite a bit of trouble. Now already over on this T side, they've only managed to get one round, and then it was finished off, and well, with only a couple of players surviving, it has to be a little bit worrying now for them. The other thing to mention is the one round that they won was versus 3 SMGs. So Envy have been playing these sort of aggressive styles that have a little bit of risk behind them, but have been working so far. In terms of their money, they haven't built up a ridiculous amount yet, but they still have enough that if they win this one relatively cleanly, they're going to have a comfortable amount of money to buy back up if they do inevitably lose. And for G2, well, in the next round, they'll get themselves $2,400, which will be enough to buy with an AWP as well, because Kenny's actually been doing quite well on the fragging front in the last round, getting 3 kills, but it's still leaving them with limited amount of rounds, and being on that T side, it's very easy still to get shut out of this map.
Definitely so. And with a likely free round being gifted to Envy, putting them one step closer. Feeling a bit worried here for G, but you know, we're all excited for that Inferno. What a way to finish this one off if it does go to a 3rd map as well on the latest addition to the map pool Inferno. I feel like Canals would have been a better choice.
I was actually going to say that was the only way it could be improved if we were playing Canals, and then it's just like rush mid, rush mid, rush mid, pretty much every single round.
I want someone to set up a show match. Someone here with budget, you know, if there's anyone here with budget, set up a show match between any teams that are relevant, right? In Canals. That would be so entertaining. Hey, how about like a Canals tournament, right? Every single map is on.
I want to see VP versus Astralis on Canals.
Oh,
that would be the dream. But I feel like they may object to that a little bit. I don't know. Someone with an abundance of cash, please step up. We are actually going to have investment, right now, though. Yeah, we're going to have an investment, though. They've spent the money on that AWP. And by the looks of it, they are going to force into this one. So this is a ridiculously high risk. Because in the next round, they could have had a buy comfortably. So to go into this round with not very much, obviously needing a bomb plant to even have any sort of buy in the next round. And if they don't win the round, well, they're basically handing over a bigger buffer to Envy to say, okay, now you could even farm up a little bit of extra cash and get yourself pretty much to 14 for free. So this is not, I'm not behind this buy. I can see why they're doing it. Obviously, the economy isn't great over on the CT side. It is getting down to crunch time. They don't want to give them another round, but this is incredibly risky.
Yeah, I mean, you can justify it, but you can also be against it, right? And I'm definitely on your side. I don't think this is a good idea as of yet, but let's see if they can make it work. We've seen a lot of weird rounds so far this series. So you can see Shox is pushed up very closely towards that squeaky door. Maybe you have to drop down the vent. So vent is already popped. Oh no, he makes it down safely. They don't even have a clue because the vent got broken by that nade. Yeah, look at this. I think they've realized this. So look at the position now. Down in towards the secret is going to be XMS as he's found himself prime position to shut these players down. Shox going to make a lot of noise. Sixer takes the first, but Shox running gun Tech 9, balance gun indeed, takes the kill, and Kenny S will follow up at least on the T side. This buy is working out very well so far for G2, but can they close it out?
Yeah, Shox, importantly as well, able to get a rifle. Apex waiting for any sort of rotations. They took so much map control early on. Pushing back in is going to be difficult, and glass cannon or not, Kenny's still hitting all of these shots, screaming happy to get back into this one. They have to look at their money. Is this worth going for? Both these teams, I don't think we've seen a single save this whole game, maybe even in the whole series. It's all been aggression. It's all been challenging for these retakes, and we can see why at the moment. Happy is going to get himself one back. Now, this limits the amount they actually have. That AWP was one of the big rifles. The problem is, although Happy may be seemingly trying to do a little bit of extra damage, Scream is currently in CT spawn. Or T spawn, even.
Yeah. It's going to be the save, but Happy... Well, let's have a look. Got a players.
Oh.
Gets two. Goes through a bit more, and there we go. At least does some work, but why can't he do that when defending sites? Very, very unlucky. EnVyUs are getting caught up a little bit now. G2 are on to 10 rounds, and the force buy does work out. In fact, doing a bit of a reset onto EnVyUs, so their money is fairly, impacted here. Obviously, they keep Screen, they keep Happy with his gun, but other than that, it's a risky buy. They can still invest, obviously, around these two saved rifles. That's going to make the job.
Shox could have bought an AWP there, so I don't really get why he didn't. Kenny's been on fire with the AWP in this game, and instead doesn't even invest that extra money into utility. This is really weird from Shox. Just wants to be pure aim style player at the moment in time, and I don't understand it. If you're not going to invest in the nades, why not spend that extra money into that AWP to get Kenny on his weapon of choice? Instead, he's on a Galil. It does look like they are going to switch up the pace over towards this A site, so maybe that's the reason why Apex is just waiting from underneath to try and stop any sort of rotation. And well, they are looking like they're about to challenge towards Hut, but there are 3 players already around this A site.
Could be dangerous. Bit of outside aggression as well. Kenny S is going to be pushing up on top of the silo there with that Galil. Support from the rest of G2. And while Apex has already made it down, he has been spotted by Scream there in the lowers, so very risky here. The Sixer sits on the site, gets the information as he spots Shox crossing. Tongue twister. But Apex taken down towards B. There we go. Scream opening things up. Good start here for the CT side. Considering the buy they do have into this round, but look at the positions as G2. They have forced himself all the way up into heaven. It's just Happy defending here, and while he has the potential to get himself a quick no-scope with that AWP, there's plenty of players to trade. Let's see if he can do it. Yep, spraying. The rifle shows. Kenny takes the kill, and Shox will follow up on towards the A side. It's a plethora of frags, all going in the way of G2, and XMS is Scream are the last 2 players alive.
Well, I guess this is why they didn't buy the AWP. Kenny will get one for free, at least for a second, until XMS denies the AWPer a chance to hold on. Both players currently in hell, which not really the best place to try and get back into this site. They should know there's somebody below Scream just jumping up and down the ladder. We'll be able to get back in, but the position of Shox is going to be waiting, and they are just going to molly it off. They don't know both players are there, but actually the amount of noise has been made, and the position of Shox, he should know that both players are currently in this position. He is going to be able to hear every footstep. XMS makes so much noise. Actually going to have to switch back to the Glock, and, well, Scream, you could help your teammate here. Doesn't decide to do it until it's too late. He's going to be looking to try and save his weapon over towards the CT spawn.
This comeback is actually happening, which is really, really weird as well. EnVyUs were looking so good at the 13-9 scoreline, and now it's not 13-9, sorry, 12-9 scoreline, and now it's starting to look far too close for comfort. The money on EnVyUs not good. That double save may have forced out some kind of a buy here, because we could have had maybe, if we had the AWP saved, obviously, with the rifle on Scream, they could have had, one gun drop and maybe a UMP. They could have had a buy realistically, but this is going to be now they have only pistols alongside that one saved rifle on Scream, and I know who I would give it to, and that is Scream. Right? He is at the top of the scoreboard in terms of frags, and he's been doing very well this map. Obviously, the headshot machine himself. So he's situated towards Garage. We have Apex pushing outside, but the smoke's going down. So Scream not able to get an opener. And Apex has been so good at taking this outside control down in towards Secret. Every single round, it seems like he's just a thorn in their side on B. And EnVyUs always having to send a player rotating back down. And look, Scream's already doing that. He's already going back down towards B because they know what Apex can do. The rest of EnVyUs, a bit of aggression, and it will be punished one by one. They are dropped. It leaves only 3.
Yep, MBK lapping up these eco frags, padding his stats a little bit, putting him to second on the ball behind Kenny. who, well, is top fragger in the server at the moment. It's looking a little bit more even over on that CT side with Sixer, Happy, and Scream all doing work. And, well, Happy and Scream are still standing. Now, of course, Scream would be more than happy, ironically, to keep that weapon into the next round. He's got himself the AK kit, even a trusty P250 to hold on to. Now, of course, if they do go rushing through ramp, maybe there's a chance that he can get a masterful spray down. Not what he's renowned for, but there is still the potential. We are going to lose his teammate in the form of Happy. And now this should just be an easy plant. Don't really want to see Scream challenging too much in this scenario. Obviously, in the next round, they'll have the extra 2-400. A buy will be back on the board. An AWP, well, maybe even a double, can come in if they need it, which isn't something we've seen from them. Obviously, we did see their opponents actually doing just that. Actually, Scream is going to be able to take shocks with him. They know where he is, though, and with 5 players still alive, it is likely that G2 are going to try and finish him off.
Scream has now saved 3 rounds in a row, and I feel like if that says anything, that talks about how this B control from Apex and G2 has been so good, right? We said it ourselves. Every single round, G2 send Apex somehow down into B, either through vents or outside, and Scream is always that rotation player, going down towards the B side, trying to defend it, and then G2 get the bomb down on A. It's just really, really, really effective from Apex. It forces that, rotation off of the control that Scream always has, and puts him in a position where sometimes he even gets a kill, but it's kind of a pointless kill, because Apex is always the one with the in the bio. So, yeah, really good stuff so far from G2. I've been liking the T-side setups. They've been doing a very good job of forcing Scream to really not get anything done here, especially considering he is, one of the pivotal players for the EnVyUs side. Now we see the score finally equalize. And G2 back on the buy, but EnVyUs, they're trying to invest what little they can. Sixer can get the AWP in. I mean, I say little, they've actually got a full buy here, so it's not too bad. And the AWP actually will come out with full head armor as well, so no utility going to be brought up around that for Sixer. You are just going to see full buy on both sides. And basically, the team that wins this is going to be setting the pace for the next few rounds, because while G2 have a little bit of cash left in the reserves, if EnVy can take this one, it could force them down to an eco after 2 losses. So, that's good. Whereas on the flip side, right, if G2 win this one, EnVyUs are eco, and surely the game is over in a 2-0 fashion.
Look at the switch up from Sixer. This is how much of a thorn Apex has been. He's going to be holding with an AWP, and the rest of them are just going to be waiting over towards his door. Scream lines them up, but he can't quite finish them off. It's only going to be one and an instant trade from Apex as they push out onto the site. Sixer nowhere near the action. A couple of players over towards Heaven and Hell, and well, the moment the bomb is going to be going down over towards this B site. I wonder if they can actually push in and deny it. I don't think they're even going to try. And, well, a complete switch up of pace. We've seen them go outside so often, leave it to the last few seconds. So G2 just go, this time we're ramming straight in to that A site. And, well, they may have been avoiding Scream before then, but this time they go straight into his clutches.
It will make it work as well. Only 1 kill going his way on 2. You can see G2 have pretty much guaranteed themselves this round. Obviously, we said that EnVyUs would be on eco if they lost this, not if they save these players. So if they can get away with these guns, and that's the thing, I don't understand where they're peeking, right? Because in these kind of positions, looking at, for example, XMS and his angle, he's going to be met with some players more likely than not. They will actually all save towards lobby, but it's just such a risky angle. If he can guarantee saving his gun, he should be doing that. My theory is either save or go for exits. And right now, going for exits would not impact the economy of G2. They've got a lot of cash to play with. So at this point, you just want to fully hold onto your gun. And they do. So they can actually get a buy up around this. It will be fine for the EnVyUs side. The scoreline, not so much. G2 are starting to take the lead. And 1 more round to 14. Just getting closer and closer and closer. Looking like EnVyUs actually had this map in their pocket at one point, and it's just completely seeming to be the other way around.
4 rounds in a row. All with players saving, in fact. And again, they're going to go aggressive over towards this B site. Once again, Scream will go down after the initial trade. RPK is going to be above, but he's ended by MBK. And the quick pace, just catching them once more. XMS trying to rotate, but MBK with the double. And Sixer goes for a no-scope on the ladder. Gets it the second time. Will be able to catch one at least. Kenny getting out-AWP'd once again by Sixer, but they still have the man advantage. Bomb is going to be going down, and there's 2 players in an attempted retake.
See what they can do here. Will it be the save for the 5th round in a row, or will Sixer get himself some more on those? To try and force himself out. The Molly instead going to just completely hold him off there as they drop one down. He throws his own. Happy, he's just on the edge of things. If he can get himself a quick kill, maybe he'd go for it, but it's looking very, very unlikely as the time is against them. The kit is as well on Sixer outside of main. And Happy Should probably just back off and save at this point. There's not really much point of him sitting here. What can he really gain? Shox does drop Sixer, but Happy eventually just getting the hell out of there. Will be spotted by Apex. The Shox is behind, and clean, crisp lock boys as G2, they take themselves 14 rounds. EnVyUs still able to buy, despite not saving anything. They will call in a pause just to work out what they...
That shot from Sixer was ridiculous. To be able to swing up on the ladder and get the headshot doesn't make any sense, but it is 5 rounds in a row now for G2. They were looking pretty much out of this game at 12-9. They win what was a very sketchy buy with an AWP and a few SMGs and Tech 9s in play. And now they see themselves 2 rounds away from going to the LAN. That's it. It's not even like anything else. Like, oh, they'll get through to the next round of the qualification. They win these next 2 rounds and they are in the LAN up against the likes of SK, VP, Astralis, North, Gambit, and many more that I can't remember off the top of my head, even though I love them all. But they will be in that mix. Obviously, the new supposed super team, and definitely want to see them. Now, obviously, Envy are not done, even if they do lose the next 2 rounds. I'm not even saying they're done from this yet. It's so very, very close. But they will go into, or the loser will go into an elimination match where one of the teams will go through. That'll be versus, of course, either Fnatic or Hellraisers, who have to play a little bit later on in the week. But, yeah, last 2 rounds to go. Possible qualification on the cards. G2, and it's going to be Envy. And Scream, well, he's relegated, or maybe upgraded to a UMP.
Who knows at this point? I feel like you should be throwing the rifle over the Scream, but let's see. G2 not going for the fast play that has been working out, and this time EnVyUs actually do have the utility to throw down those early Molotovs and HGs just to deny the quick lobby push. Nothing will be coming through. And EnVyUs just taking their time here on the CT side. No aggression from them either. G2...
Other than Sixer.
Well, yeah, he's pushed up towards the red crate over towards the outside position, but with no pressure from G2 as of yet. That's actually an okay position. But as I say that, they're going to start to move their players towards the outside position. Happy's the only close player to support from main, but he's inside. He's not really in a trade position. So Sixer, he needs to get a 1 before he falls. And Shox won't even check it. There's a quick kill. That's the issue if you take late outside control. You can allow the CTs to push up. And Sixer, he's going to look for a little bit more before he does get chased down. Apex will fall. Not a third, but 2's definitely good. And while Body will trade, EnVyUs are in the driving seat for this round so far.
Body will have an entry back in. Scream going to go pushing, but Kenny going to deny. And, well, after getting themselves a 2-man early advantage, they have actually, in fact, got a disadvantage with only 2 men left. It's going to be XMS and RPK. RPK catches 1, loses a lot of life in the meantime. And both players currently over towards this A site. Does mean there's huge potential for a rotation. Body is actually going to be pushing round towards Hell. He has the bomb in his hand, so has to be very, very careful. RPK has maneuvered back towards ramp. And they could be bumping into each other relatively soon. XMS, is he going to have any idea? Yes, he is. He's holding the angle onto Body. There's no way. Body should be winning this, but the timing gets the better of him. That is so unfortunate. Leaves RPK 19 HP to try and get back into this site versus Kenny and Body. That is such bad luck for XMS. And, well, another 3-letter player, RPK, has a lot of work to do to stop them getting to match point.
Yeah, you can't save this. You've got to go for this. This is so close, but he's going to push on in. There we goes, Body, but no kill coming his way, even though Body's tagged up. He gets away with a 4K that round. Kenny supporting with a 5th, and G2, they're there. They're match point, not map point, match point. They are 1 round away as EnVyUs trying to force the issue here into the last round. They got a couple of FAMI, M4 or 2, and a UMP as well on Happy, so at least they have a decent investment. They're not relegated to pistols on any of the players here. But, for example, no AWP in play. Only 2 Molotovs across the board. Smokes are limited on players like Sixer, for example. So, still, G2 looking very good. And, that's the thing as well. EnVyUs open it up with a couple of quick kills. They get a trade, so 4-on-3. And instantly, G2 just retaliate with 2 nice headshots. It just, flips over the round. But EnVyUs, they have lost 6 in a row now. Looking like they had the map in their pocket. Definitely the opposite situation now. Let's see if they can at least bring things back here on the CT side. The supposedly favoured side, but not clear, clear today.
Once again, outside control is going to be limited for this CT side. No AWP in play, and only Happy with an UMP. In fact, it's going to be close. They do have Sixer attempting to watch through main in an attempt to, well, basically stop anybody just walking straight into his crosshair. Scream is going to go rotating towards his A site at the moment. G2 playing very passively. Only really Apex looking to make his trusty move down towards Secret. And there's actually not really anybody watching. He may just be able to walk, not using any smokes, which is actually more dangerous because then the likelihood is they're not going to be able to tell. Scream as well is looking to try and wrap around. Well, that's actually Shocks. And while Happy, maybe left unaware, still manages to win the duel. First kill going their way. 30 seconds left on the clock as they do look to push towards this beast now. Now, mainly, they have been going A in the last few rounds, so there is still the potential for them to try and deny this. Scream already wrapping back through ramp with the man advantage. As said, they don't have a kit, so really the bomb going down could be problematic. But he's going to spot out Apex, who's down very, very low. Now the push coming in. They have to go for the plant in the smoke. There's so little time left. The body's going to be dropped. That should be round over. Kenny just wants to save this AWP. 5 seconds left as he looks to try and just fade away, but he is somewhat surrounded. Spots XMS, still going to make this costly for the remaining CT players, but he should be holding on to this all.
RPK just dropping in through the vents there as well, just to grab the M4. Doesn't get taken. But it's funny, EnVyUs, they go from losing 6 rounds in a row to almost winning a flawless one. They take it with 3 players alive. It was looking good until they tried to hunt down Kenny. Still, this map is still up for contention. EnVyUs only need 2 rounds to take this to OT, and then, well, it's anyone's game. There's G2, they do try and invest into this one. They've got a very good buy, though. Only Shock's limited in terms of his utility. Kenny is still on that AWP, and Apex, he's going to be opening things up. Outside he goes. The entry fragger for the team takes down Happy early on, and that's a key player already dropped from the EnVyUs side. As you can see, Scream's going to re-peek him from the heaven, and can Apex double down? No, he can't. G2, they should just be sitting passive for the time being. They have the man advantage, but still continuing this aggression, trying to carry on with the kills. And while 6 are trades, Kenny yes is quick on the trigger as well to drop him. It's a 4-on-3. EnVyUs losing another man.
Apex looking like he's had enough of being sneaky. Just goes for sheer aggression. Instead, Shock snaps onto the head of XMS. He's down, and there goes RPK as well. The Shocksy factor's back in play. He may be bottom of the board, but it still doesn't take it out of the game. Scream, you have been much, much better in this match. Actually, second on the board now to Sixer. But you have got a lot of work to do. 4 players left. This is for your survival in this matchup. Finds one, but Kenny will be there to end it. G2, they are the first team from Europe to go through the qualification stage. They will make it to the LAN finals to face off for $300,000. And, well, congratulations to them. They've done it in style. 2-0, magnificent comeback on nuke, it has to be said. Winning 6 rounds in a row and then finally finishing things off in the last. However, it has to be said, for Envy, they are not out as of yet. They will be facing off against the loser of Hellraisers versus Fnatic. Obviously, one of those teams will be playing as well to qualify for the LAN. 3 teams go through from Europe. I think later we do actually have some more from the North America side. Renegades looking to try and make their way through versus CLG. And we've already had one of our teams go through. I think that was actually Immortals making their way to the LAN finals. Either way, that is it from us for today. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you have missed any of the games, you can check out the YouTube channel in the description below. There will be stuff going up there from the LAN as well, such as player interviews and much more good stuff. Also, if you've enjoyed the cast, me and Hugo, well, we definitely appreciate a follow, !casters in the chat, and you can leave us any other feedback, any other stuff that you want to see change from Starladder.